but it seems about 92 degrees, and I'm happy to be inside teaching this webinar. So today we're going to get started by talking a little bit about the importance of self-care. Next slide. This is CHW month, as many of you may be aware. Yep, there it is. And so I want to talk about the importance of taking care of yourself, because sometimes when we work in the healthcare profession, we spend all of our time caring for others. So we take care of, our clients, our employees, our coworkers, and then we come home and we take care of our friends and family. And oftentimes we're the last person who gets self-care at the end of the day, because after we get home, we start our second shift, right? So taking care of friends, family, pets, homes. And so sometimes we overlook taking care of ourselves. The problem is, if we don't take care of ourselves, over time, the amount of stress and anxiety that we have in our lives has a tendency to build up. If you don't get that out, you can start to get issues in your tissues. So what we like to do is think of a yoga practice or breathing techniques and meditation as a way for you to charge back up. So as I like to tell my yoga students, think of your yoga mat or whatever it is that you're doing to do yoga as a cell charger, and think of yourself as the cell phone. And when you plug into your cell phone charger, your yoga practice, you can use that time to slow down, start to notice how you truly feel, and begin to charge yourself back up that way. Next slide. What is yoga anyway? If you'll take a look at this slide, you'll see someone doing yoga on the left. Is this yoga? Well, yes, it is, but it's not the only kind of yoga, right? So yoga doesn't have to necessarily be very difficult. And then what's going on over there on the right? Is that yoga? Is she sleeping? Well, yes, that is another type of yoga. But the great thing about yoga is that not all types of yoga are the same. There are as many different types of yoga as there are types of people. And the great thing about yoga is whichever type that you choose, you always have the ability to modify what you're doing to make it perfect for you. A lot of people ask me, I can't do yoga right because I'm not flexible. And I always say, of course you can. Flexible people don't need yoga because they're already flexible. And besides, in yoga, we don't try to make our bodies more flexible. What we're trying to do is increase the flexibility in the mind so that when challenges come along, we have a tendency to bend and not break, not just physically, but also emotionally. So we're talking about emotional resilience. Next slide. Who is yoga for? So I get a lot of questions about this. Am I too old to do yoga? Am I too young? Am I too tall? Am I too short? And what we like to say in yoga is that yoga is for every body, not just everybody, but every single different body type. It's not just for the young. It's not just for the old. It's not just for the middle-aged. It's not just for women or for men. It transcends gender completely. It's not for people who are tall or small or slim or thick. You don't have to be healthy, strong, or flexible to do yoga. In fact, you can do yoga from a chair, the floor, your bed, or wherever it is that you find yourself. We like to say that yoga transcends all of the labels, not only that we put on other people and descriptions, but also all of the labels that other people put on us. Wherever you are in your life or your body, yoga is ready to meet you exactly where you are, and you begin from there. One example I like to tell yoga students is about Joseph Pilates, who created a formula of self-care that was very similar to yoga. And the way that he did this was by going into hospitals during World War II and really trying to help people rehab themselves who were critically injured and completely bedridden. And so he came up with a system where you could strengthen yourself and rehabilitate your body in a bed. And after the war was over, he was highly sought after for helping to strengthen and condition people who weren't bedridden, but he would actually lay them down onto what is now called a reformer or a Pilates mat and strengthen their core, their limbs, for dancers, professional circus performers, bodybuilders that way. So you don't necessarily need to start from anywhere other than exactly where you are now. Next slide. Okay. The power of the breath is the most basic thing that we start with at yoga. If you can breathe, you can do yoga. The definition of yoga literally means to yoke. And what we're yoking in yoga is the mind and the body. So the bridge between the mind and the body is actually the breath. Never underestimate the power of the breath to calm you down when you're scared, nervous, or upset. And this is an easy method to teach to people that you have contact with, not just your clients, but also your friends and your family. The ultimate goal of yoga, the definition of yoga in the Yoga Sutras, is yoga is the cessation of the fluctuations of the mind. So there's nothing in there about headstands, handstands, being able to touch your toes, being able to do any type of posture at all. The most important thing to remember is that the goal of yoga is to develop equanimity. And equanimity, by definition, means a non-reactive mind. So that no matter what is going on around you, you can stay non-reactive. And instead of reacting to things that are happening, you can choose to respond appropriately. There are several different breathing techniques that you can utilize to do this. One of the most basic ones is called the cleansing breath. And so we'll practice this in a little bit, but all that you're doing is you're breathing in through your nose, holding the breath slightly, and then breathing out through the mouth to try to calm the body and the mind. The benefits of this type of breathing, specifically cleansing breath, is that it helps to slow the heart rate down so that you can calm yourself not only by remaining still, but starting to calm the body from the inside out. Next slide. Now, once we start our yoga breathing, and we'll work on our posture a little bit before we start to do yoga. Yes, you have that to look forward to. We'll talk just a little bit about the benefits of meditation. So meditation is the first step on a physical yoga practice, and it just involves sitting somewhere comfortably, closing the eyes if that's possible for you. It doesn't need to be in a seated position on the floor. You can be in a chair, you can be in a bed, you can be anywhere basically. And you don't have to do anything special with your hands or your legs. Closing the eyes is always helpful because the eyes are the gateway to distraction for the mind. So simply by closing your eyes for a few minutes and just focusing on what's going on inside of you is the first step towards a successful meditation practice. Some of the benefits of meditation are that it can actually reduce pain and enhance the body's immune system. In addition, it can help reduce feelings of depression, anxiety, anger, and confusion, which I know a lot of us, especially parents, with children being schooled from home, are experiencing right now, including myself. Meditation can increase blood flow and slow the heart rate. It can give you a feeling of calm, peace, and inner balance. And it also has lots of other physical benefits that we'll get into in later webinars about helping to reverse heart disease, helping to control your thoughts, helping to increase energy levels, and helping to reduce stress. I'll just mention one brief study that was conducted that showed that 15 minutes of silent meditation and breathing techniques had the same benefit on the brain waves of the participants as a 4-hour nap. So 15 minutes of meditation obviously has lots of benefits. If you can't meditate for 15 minutes, just do the math. Even a couple of minutes of meditation each day can result in a lot of benefits for your brain waves. Next slide. Okay, so what do we need to do yoga? And the answer to that question is really nothing. You can always do yoga wherever it is that you are. You do not need to be in a yoga studio. You do not need to pay for a class. You do not need any special clothing. You don't need any special equipment. If you're going to plan on doing yoga a lot, you might want to get a yoga mat just because it can help protect your joints if you are sitting on the floor. But if you're sharing yoga with your friends and family, it's definitely not required. You can do yoga on the floor, in a chair, in the bed. You don't even have to sit up all the way to do yoga if you're trying to share this with people who are stuck in bed. You can do yoga in the grass, on a beach, in a car. I often do it in rush hour traffic during the holidays, and also when your mother-in-law comes over. Next slide. Okay, who is ready to give yoga a try? Show of hands, anyone? Maybe some snapping. Okay, great. For this portion of the webinar, we're going to actually physically do some yoga. So what I would like you to do is just get comfortable in a seated position. For those of you who would like to transition to the floor, a sofa, I'm going to do it in the chair, and I'm just going to scoot this chair back and start to project my voice so that you can see me, and we can do some chair yoga. Here we go. Can everyone still hear me?
Good to go.
Great. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is practice a few breathing exercises. The first breath that we talked about today was the cleansing breath. So instead of breathing in and out through the nose or in and out through the mouth, it's going to be an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the mouth. Ideally, we would like to work up to a 4-count inhale and a 4-count exhale. So first, focusing on your posture. You want to ground down through the sits bones, and you want to reach up through the spine, out through the top of the crown of the head so that you're sitting nice and straight. The shoulders, we're going to squeeze up towards our ears and then back down and away so that the heart is open and the spine is long. You want to pull your belly in slightly just to keep it engaged. So you're not sucking it in all the way or sticking it out. It's just slightly lifted and tucked in. So this will help to strengthen your core from the inside out. And now to practice our cleansing breath, you can close your eyes if that helps. I know it helps me. We're going to breathe in through the nose for a count of 4, hold it just for a beat, and then exhale through the mouth for a count of 4. So you're measuring the air as it goes out to make it last instead of just huffing all the air out at once. So as soon as you're ready, go ahead and ground down through the sits bones, lengthen the spine, gently tuck the chin, reach the crown of the head high, and then on the next inhale, you're going to start to breathe through your nose for the count of 4. So exhale completely. And then on the inhale, start breathing through the nose. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause slightly, and then slowly through the mouth, start to exhale. 2, 3, and 4. We'll do that twice more. Finish the exhale. Inhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4, hold it, and then exhale, 2, 3, and 4. One more time. Finish the exhale. Inhale through the nose, 2, 3, and 4. Exhale through the mouth, 2, 3, and 4. So if you'll notice, every time we did an inhale, I said inhale. Every time we did an exhale, I said exhale. If you put words and time them to your breath, that's called using a mantra. The mantra we used now was simply inhale and exhale, but you can always make it more personal depending on what you're feeling, what you need from the breathing technique, or the audience that you're teaching this breathing technique to. So if you're teaching this technique to someone or a group that has, let's just say, children with anger management issues, you could always use the example on the inhale, I am breathing in a new opportunity. And on the exhale, I am letting go of all of my anger. On the inhale, I am breathing in a pause to give myself a chance to make a better decision. On the exhale, I am letting go of the old ways and habits that caused me problems in the past. If you have clients that have other specific issues, you could always use it in tobacco cessation. On the inhale, I am breathing in clean, fresh, pure oxygen. On the exhale, I am letting go of the need to make a decision to choose nicotine instead, or I'm making a more healthful decision. So you can see how you can kind of match the mantras to the specific audience in which you are teaching yoga to, or if it's for yourself, you're trying to calm yourself down, or your children, I am breathing in peace, calm, and balance. I am breathing out stress, tension, or anxiety. This also works with depression. It works with just about mental behavioral health situation that you find yourself in. It's very easy to modify. Moving on, we're going to start our meditation period now. We're going to meditate for an extremely long time. I don't want you to be intimidated, but it's going to last an entire 60 seconds. In that 60-second meditation, for many of you, this might be the first time ever, you're going to try to keep your posture straight, your belly firm, your eyes closed. You're going to try not to fidget, twitch, check your watch, your phone, pet the cat, whatever it is, we're going to try to stay completely focused on the breath. The mantra here will just be inhale, exhale. You can always make it personal to yourself in your own head. So we're going to start to meditate here, and I'm going to set the timer. We're going to start in 10 seconds. So straighten your spine, ground down through the sits bones. Start to pull the shoulders up, back, and away from the ears. Finish your exhale completely. Close your eyes. And now on the inhale, breathing in, 2, 3, and 4. Pause. Exhale, 2, 3, and 4. Finish the breath. Inhale, 2, 3, and 4. Exhale, 2, 3, and 4. Inhale, as your mind wanders, just bring it back. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale. It's totally normal for the mind to wander. Just bring it back. Exhale, 2, 3, and 4. Last 20 seconds, you're on your own. Silence. Keep breathing. One more full round of breath. And slowly begin to open the eyes. Hopefully, you feel more calm. Is it working? Can you see how this might be beneficial to teach to clients of yours that might have issues that just require them to step back and pause for just about 1 minute? With children, my children are ages 11 and 13. And what they really remind me of is that ball on the old-timey cartoons of two people fighting that just rolls around the house. If I were to ever try to get them to calm down for 60 full seconds, I don't know if it would happen. But just starting small with younger children, 1 cleansing breath, working up to 3, maybe 5 cleansing breaths. And you would be surprised that after taking a few breaths, how everything starts to shift. The perspective of being in the anger at that moment, or being in the depths of that grief at that moment, it kind of gives you just enough distance to say, you know what, I feel just better enough to step out of this space and move forward from here and start over. So that's why we like to teach that breathing technique. And now we're ready to start to do some yoga. Who's excited? I see excited faces. Okay, we'll have to work on the excited faces. I see one excited face, and I want to thank Linda Burton for that. Thank you, Linda. All right, here we go. So, did you know you have as much spinal fluid as you'll ever have in your entire life by the age of 12? So the only way to keep your spine supple and strong is to move it in 6 different directions every day. So the 6 different directions of the spine are lateral flexion from the right to the left, flexion and extension, so flexion forward and extension back, and then that axial rotation, right and left. So if you can do anything per day, you want to get your spine moving in 6 different directions. I want to start by doing that today by stretching out the neck. The neck is a great way to start. It's very simple. The movements are easy. You can teach this to just about anyone. The importance here is to make sure that they're being gentle, working at their own level, and not pushing or pulling on their heads. This feels so good that anytime I start to do this, whether I'm in line at Meijer, I'm sitting in my car at rush hour, if you start to do these neck exercises and neck rolls, you look around and you'll see people will watch you, and then they'll just start doing them too, and you'll be at a car pretty soon. You've got 6 people doing neck circles. That's how good they feel. So we're going to start with our easy seat. So you're going to ground down through your sits bones, and you're going to lengthen the spine, shoulders up, back, down, and away from the ears. Spine is long. We're just going to start by taking an inhale to lengthen the spine. And then on the exhale, you're just going to drop your chin towards your chest. So you just want to let it drop until you start to feel resistance in the back. And you're just going to hold it here for about 3 breaths. This is all we're doing. The tendency in this pose is for people to really, and I'll turn to the side, to really try to arch and squeeze themselves in tight. You don't want to apply any pressure. So the spine is long. 1 more breath. You just want to start to feel that stretch down the back of the neck. And sometimes I can even feel this down both sides of my spinal column into my low back. On the next inhale, you're going to slowly bring the head up through center, lengthen the spine. And on the exhale, you're going to take your right ear towards your right shoulder. The stretch now you want to feel is that lateral flexion on the left side of the neck. We hold so much stress and tension in our necks. You're going to hold this for 3 breaths. It's already been 2, so 1 more breath here. On the next, slowly begin to bring the head back through center. Always be slow and gentle. Take a breath here. Finish the exhale. And now we're just going to lift our chin to the sky on the next inhale. So slowly begin to lift the chin. So this is going to stretch out all the muscles on the front of the throat, down into the chest. Make sure that you're not arching back here. You want to keep the spine long and level. 1 more breath. On the next inhale, slowly, gently rise through center. And on the next exhale, we're going to take that left ear toward the left shoulder. We're stretching out the right side of the neck. And this is a great opportunity when you hold it the first time through to notice the differences between the right and left side. So you can always come back and do one side a little bit longer after we disconnect. Finish up that last breath. And then inhale, we're going to come back through center. Now we're going to do neck rolls, and I highly suggest that you be very mindful and very careful when we do this. It's especially dangerous to drop your head really far back if your spine does not allow that. So I'm going to call it the first time around, we're just going to look up and not drop the head back. So you'll see what I mean. You're going to take an inhale here, and on the exhale, you're going to take your chin to your chest. That's your exhale. On the inhale, roll the right ear towards the right shoulder. Yep. And on the exhale, just bring the head through neutral. So just rise back up. And then switch sides, take it over to the left ear very gently. Yeah. And then swim the chin back towards the chest. And then inhale, rise up through center. We're going to switch directions. Take an inhale here, lengthen the spine. Exhale, slowly, gently, chin to chest. Inhale, roll the left ear towards the left shoulder. You guys look great. Exhale, slowly bring it back through center. Inhale, take it to the right, slow and steady. Exhale, roll that chin right back down the center. And then inhale, come back up. Now this time we're going to do a full neck circle. If you have any neck or back issues, you're just going to do the version we just did. You're going to bring your head back through center instead of dropping it back. Everybody's ready? Take an inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, drop the chin to the chest. Inhale, take the right ear towards the right shoulder. Keep the spine long. Exhale, drop the head back or come through neutral. Inhale, left ear to the left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, rise through center. How do you feel? We're going to do 2 more of those. So inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, take it to the right. Slow and steady. Exhale, drop the head back. Inhale, take it to the left. Exhale, chin to chest. Keep going. Inhale, take it to the right. Exhale, take it back. Inhale, take it to the left. Exhale, chin to chest. Simon says, switch sides. So you're going to go in the opposite direction. Roll to the left. We're going to go 3 rounds. So ultimately what you're trying to do here is seamlessly blend the inhales and exhales together, so there is no stop or start. You just continue inhaling, exhaling. You don't stop, and you're just rolling the neck around. 1 more time. Finishing up in the measure of your own breath, and eventually we'll all meet back in our seated position. So you've meditated, you've done some neck circles. Hopefully everyone feels good. We get a show of hands if you feel good. Yes, we're going to proceed with a little bit more physical yoga. Work at your own pace. If you have any injuries, do not do anything that irritates or will re-injure you. From here, we're going to start to do some flexion and extension of the spine. The first thing we're going to do is flexion, which is forward folding, and extension, which is back bending. I'm going to turn my chair to the side. You do not need to do this. I'm just doing this so you can see me. So for this, we're going to do seated cat and cow. So cat and cow pose is most often done on the ground, on the hands and knees, but we all know that not everyone who deserves the gift of yoga can get down on their hands and knees or can get back up once they get there. So for seated cat and cow, you get all the benefits without actually having to get on the ground. So for cat pose, you want to take a big inhale. So you're just seated with your hands resting lightly on your lap or on your knees. You're going to take an inhale, and on the exhale, you're going to arch your back like a cat. You're going to bring your chin towards your chest and try to get really tight and round. So your elbows are bent, you're pulling yourself in, and your belly pulls towards your spine. So that's your exhale. For cow pose, you want to open the heart, straighten the arms. You can use them to brace yourself and then lift the chin to the sky. So you're actually bowing your back, arching your back, and opening up the front of the body. On the exhale, bend the elbows, arch the back, bring the chin towards the chest. So this is your cat pose. And then inhale to open the heart, straighten the arms, and lift the chin to the sky. We're going to do one more round. So on the exhale, arching the back, bending the elbows, get really small. You're supposed to look like that black cat on the Halloween cookies with the moon in the background. Inhale to open the heart, lift the chin. So you're supposed to look like that dairy cow with the bell around her neck, and she has that bow-shaped back. Beautiful. Inhale, come back through center. How does everyone feel? Ready to keep going? This webinar is 4 hours long. Did you guys already know that? Just kidding. We just have a couple more things to do. So that lateral flexion, this is called owl pose. So if you can remember the names of the poses, we can also send out a little sheet. This is especially helpful for the kids. They really like to get involved if you make owl noises when you do this pose. So for owl pose, you want to be able to twist the spine in 2 different directions. So to do that, you're going to sit with the knees back. The hands are on the lap for now, but listen up. This involves a lot of right and lefts. On the inhale, you're going to reach both arms up and overhead. Inhale. And on the exhale, you're going to bring your left hand to your right knee and put your right hand on the back of your chair or the side of your chair and look over your right shoulder. On the inhale, come back through center, reach both arms high up to the sky, maybe even lift your gaze, reach up as high as you can, wiggle your fingers, and then exhale, right hand to the left knee and the left hand behind you. Do you want to look over that left shoulder as far as you can? Finish your exhale. Inhale, come back through center, reach both arms up. Exhale, left hand to the right knee, right hand behind you, twist. You should be able to twist a little further this time, and you'll be amazed at how your flexibility changes after just a few days. Inhale, back through center, and then exhale, twist in the opposite direction, right hand to left knee, look over that left shoulder. Try to keep the spine long. One more round. Inhale, reach arms up, open the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, left hand to the right knee, right hand behind you. You can also do this in a seated position on the floor. Inhale, center. You can even do this pose standing. Exhale, right hand to the left knee, left hand behind you. Look over that left shoulder. Okay, coming back through center. So moving the spine in 6 different directions. We've already done that flexion forward, that extension to open, and we've done that axial rotation to the right and left. And now all that's left, our final series of exercises, is lateral flexion, side bending side to side, to the right and to the left. So for this side bend, it starts the same. You're gonna reach both arms up and overhead. But on the exhale, you can bring your right hand to your right thigh. You can bring it to your right knee. If you have a chair, you can brace it there. And then you're just gonna swim your left arm over your left ear. Now, if this hurts your neck, you wanna look down at your right hand. If you wanna take it a little deeper, neutral gaze is always out in front of you. And if you wanna make it even more challenging, you could look up towards your arm or your hand. Inhale brings you back through center, reach both arms high. And then exhale, left hand to left thigh, maybe the chair arm, wherever you're comfortable, support yourself, and then swim the right arm over the right ear. The further the arm is out from the body, the more you can go down. The closer it is, stable your client or you will be, and the less you'll go down. Inhale back through center, reach up, so lengthen the spine, And then exhale, take it to the other side. So right hand plants and the left arm swims over the left ear. Inhale all the way up through center. And then exhale, left hand plants. And you can take this right arm over your right ear. So you can see how inhale back through center. Exhale, release the hands to the lap. You can see how you can easily modify this by sitting on the ground. You could have someone sit up in bed and they could just plant their hands on pillows and do it from side to side. These poses are very easy to modify and very accessible to most people. There are also lots of other different types of chair yoga that you can do with people. And I always recommend starting with just a brief introduction to yoga. I just wanted to conclude today, what we need to wrap up with, I get a lot of questions about, oh, is yoga a religion? You know, what does it mean when people are bringing their hands together in prayer? Are you praying to a deity? So the way we explain it is that yoga is a philosophy. It's a way of life. The point of yoga is to develop equanimity, which is the non-reactive mind. This philosophy is compatible with every religion in the world, and it's also compatible in the absence of religion. So it just helps people become less reactive, and doesn't that make the world a better place? As far as bringing the hands to heart center, in many Asian countries, this is just a sign of respect. It's oftentimes used as a greeting or salutation to say hello or goodbye. And at the end of every yoga class, we say namaste to each other. And namaste is just Sanskrit. And the definition is the good in me honors, recognizes, and respects the good that's inside of you. Does that mean there's no bad in there? No, it just means the yoga philosophy, we choose to focus on the positive. So in conclusion, we'll just take a big breath in. Everyone reach your arms to the sky, maybe look up. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. And then we just all say to each other, namaste. And then you just do a little bow. But again, it's not a bow in prayer. It's just a bow of respect to all of the good that is in all of the people you are with doing yoga, or all the people who you want to send good vibes out to. So that's about all I have for today, but we are going to open the floor to take some questions or just comments, suggestions, and then Janae has a few announcements at the end. And I want to thank you all very much for participating. I really appreciate it. If you like this webinar, let us know. I'm the Education and Registry Manager. We can do more yoga. There's so much more yoga. If you want some free yoga classes, Yoga with Adrienne on YouTube is amazing, accessible yoga for every single thing you could possibly think of. She's a beautiful, open, caring person, and it's free. So if your clients say, oh, I love this, what you just taught me, but I don't have a yoga studio, or I can't afford yoga. Free yoga, sometimes you have to watch an ad, but they're usually just for yoga mats. So
thank you, Portia. That was great. There are a ton of messages in the chat that are just saying thank you, that they loved it. They will be doing this at the end of each day. And I am just happy to see you all doing the stretches and learning. In honor of CHW month, we wanted to provide, as Miss Felicia says, you know, an opportunity to care for yourselves since you care for so many other people. So thank you for joining that. Like Portia said, just a couple things to do as it relates to housekeeping. This webinar was recorded. We will post it later in our registry if you would like to view it again later. If you forget some of these tips and tricks, at about 4 o'clock, you will be receiving an email from Eventbrite, kind of like you did with your event confirmation, that gives you the link to complete the tool for your continuing education units. I did take sort of an attendance to see who was on the call. So we know that roughly 47 or 46 people will be getting CEUs from us if they'd like to. So yeah, big ups, as Portia just shared. I don't think we have any questions here, but just want you guys to feel free to email us and communicate with us. And I just wanted to share that our annual meeting will be hosted in October on the 22nd from 9 a.m. to 1 for Zoom. And that's another opportunity for 4 CEUs and to learn more about Mishwa, our staff, our updates, and how we can help support our CHWs moving forward. So a lot of us want to know, can you send the recommended YouTube videos, Portia?
Yes, of course.
That sounds good. And then a lot of people are just saying, I needed this. for my everyday life. So do I. So I just wanted to thank you all. Please fill out the survey once it's over and feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions, and stay tuned with Mishwa for future webinars like this. All right, everybody. That's goodbye and enjoy your day.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Have a great one.